Welcome back to another live edition of the Coaches Courtside Catch-Up thanks to Dream Street. Now Dino, first one of the new year, but tough loss against Adelaide on the weekend. What did you take out of that looking back at film?
Getting starts on the road is so important, and they come out with a great amount of energy. Their run was good, their offensive rebound was good, and I thought we made our fight back, we got back in the game, and again, just the points that we gave them, they were good. Don't get me wrong, they were good, and Randall did his thing. But the points that we gave them, 62 points, in free throws and turnovers and offensive rebounds, all the things that we still could have affected. That was at the defensive end. At the offensive end, we went back and, it's just a make or miss kind of league as well. And we had 10 threes that we looked back at and said, wow, they were all great looks. And so, did we generate enough good offense? Yeah, we did. But again, there's a confidence level and an aggression. When I look back at some of the games when we had a good win streak, just missing a little bit. So again, that's one of the focuses for this last 7 games is how aggressive we can attack, and I think we'll get rewards for it.
So now, an interesting week on the training court. You've got a bit longer than normal between games, and with just a 1-game weekend, how do you prepare for that, knowing you can do a lot more on the court but still trying to make sure they are fresh and aggressive going over to New Zealand?
I've been guilty of overcoaching at different times during these periods, and I thought you have a chance to put in another play, you have a chance to put in another little defensive scheme, and because you got time. And I thought even going into the Adelaide game, probably put in a couple too many things, and it was like, this group is better when it's a bit of a smaller playbook and we're absolutely refined on what we need to do. So this week I've made sure that no real ads, we're working on a couple of things to get better at, but it's just about the time about being confident and absolutely knowing your spot on the floor and your role on the team.
Well, you talk about Adelaide coming out and playing aggressive and a lot of energy. You've got to expect the same from the Breakers, where their season probably relies on this weekend's game, so they're going to come very strong. What's the message going over there? Because it's always been a tough place to go over there and get a win, knowing that what they have to do to win is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, these last 7 are going to be amazingly, tough games, and everyone's in a situation. Adelaide were in that situation last weekend. If they lose that one, it puts them a long way. It makes it really tough. And so we've got teams coming at us, but we're starting to get to that point ourselves where if we don't start picking up a couple of wins, it's tough for us to make the playoffs as well. So I think there's been a desperation about how we've practiced this week to say, we're going over there with the energy required to go ahead and win basketball games.
Now, it's a long travel over there, but a lot of people look at the schedule and say January, the guys are on the road a lot, but you can take a lot of positives out of spending time together, kind of all that bonding. Chris spoke about it in a couple of interviews as well. Have the guys really embraced that as a chance to really be together? Because when you're home, obviously, you go to shoot around, you come home, everyone has their own thing, but when you're stuck on the road together, it's a real good chance to come together.
Yeah, I thought one of the most positive things out of our game the other night was, when you got to the dinner table after the game, where all the tables were a little bit separated for breakfast, and that's the way it was set up, is that the boys had pulled all the tables together and everybody ate dinner together after the loss and being able to deal with some stuff straight away and move on. And so that was absolute positive. And so there was no pointing fingers. It was about, hey, we need to be better as a group, and these are the things that we need to be better at. So I think we have embraced some of those things on the road. We changed our rooming alignments a little bit to make sure there's different connections as well. But this group's pretty strong right now.
Well, it is, and you look at the kind of guys, obviously Stan Kidd's still trying to find his feet, and I had this conversation with someone the other day, and imports, as soon as they come into the league, seem to find it a nice big shock with how many fouls they can get instantly and stuff. And what was the message to him, knowing that you want him to be aggressive but to adapt and quickly, knowing that happens a lot to a lot of imports coming in?
Yeah, and it took him to the 4th game for it to happen. So we kind of thought that wasn't going to happen, and he's kind of over the hump. But we'd seen, in Adelaide, what happened to Perth, and they ran out of bigs. Happened to Illawarra, they ran out of bigs, and Stanton kind of came in. One of his first looks was at the 4 spot as well, and so he picked up a couple of cheap ones early on. So I think he'll be fine. I think he understands that. He'll go over to New Zealand where he'll probably play mostly 3 spot, but again, with the versatility of kind of that group, does he guard a Hobson, does he guard an Abercrombie, does he guard a Finn Delaney? So there's going to be different matchups for him over there as well. So I'm sure he'll be better, and he's definitely not wanting to play 5 minutes again. He definitely wants to get a lot more than that.
I'm sure, and understandable. But guys, huge test this weekend, but make sure the next home game will be the Australian Open game. Jump onto ticketmaster.com.au, pack that place out. It's against Perth. It's going to be another huge game. After watching training, they're going to be raring to go. We'll catch it again.
Indigenous jersey.
Oh, and the Indigenous jersey, that'll be worn in the Australian game. We'll release that. Looks nice, actually.
I like it.
We've had some really good jerseys this year, but we'll see you at the game.